away from the petroleum sector. Your reaction to the statement of the presidency about the presidential jet. Those who argue there was a safety problem. There was the jet that is being replaced was since the Obasanjo government, the one that was purchased in
you mean Obasanjo's new craft that that is now 19 years old?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's not speak in general terms.
Yeah,
that craft is a 19-year-old craft, and it was a new craft. I think it was a B737 craft. Okay? Now, in everything that we have heard justifying the basis for a new craft, and by the way, I'm absolutely upset that these fellows would dare to play with the intelligence of the Nigerian public. Between the executive, the president, the presidency, the National Assembly, I think they are decided that they are the bandits. They are the bandits. All of them. The political class has decided that they are the bandits against the people of Nigeria. Because I do not see how it is feasible that the topmost priority of a government that has this level of biting hunger in the land, this level of poverty, where its people are dropping into poverty per minute, would consider the purchase of a befitting aircraft for the president, the construction of a 20 billion naira home for the vice president, the purchase of all kinds of funny-looking cars, and the fleet of the National Assembly members and the executive. What exactly is that? And I speak with a lot of moral authority. I served this country. They want everything about what I earned. They can find it in their folder. As a minister, they have something called Minister's Impress or something vote. My PAMSEC, Abokizawa, will tell you until tomorrow that I did not touch a dime. So when people say all these things, were you not in government? I was in a sane government. I wasn't in a government that watches women screaming, Ebinkwawa, Ebinkwawa, we're hungry, we haven't eaten. People used to do 0, 0 something or 0, 1, 1. Today, families write and say, our children haven't eaten in the last 3 days because we just cannot afford the prices in the market. When inflation is at 40%, it erodes the poor. It literally, look, central banks exist to manage inflation.
Can you blame the presidency? This is the explanation of the presidency.
I am very upset.
The recommendation, yes, according to Bayo Onanuga, says the recommendation to replace the B737.
Who is Bayo Onanuga?
Is a special advisor to the president on information and strategy. And he wrote and said, a B737-700 BBJ followed, the replacement followed an investigative hearing by Nigeria's parliament that
by Nigeria's parliament?
Yeah, that
my goodness, how ridiculous does that get?
Record and cost efficiency, especially after it malfunctioned during a trip to Saudi Arabia. If you were president, wouldn't you get a befitting aircraft, or would you fly a commercial aircraft?
If I were president and I see the people of my country in this state of affairs, and I would go out and buy an aircraft for myself, you got another thing coming, Sheung. When you are a leader, you are first in the line to inconvenience yourself. That's what leadership is about.
So
who told you that leadership is about luxury? Who told you? You see, this version of political leadership in our country, I think Nigerians need to wisen up. There is nothing about leadership that gives an advantage over the people. The leader is the one who takes the cost so that the people can get the benefit. That's what leadership is. This bunch of people in the National Assembly, in the executive, in government houses, in the states, These are not political leaders. Until we get to the place where we're saying to ourselves, the greatest risk and danger to the sustainability and viability of Nigeria is the political class of this country. These are rascals by every definition of the word. And I am not mincing words about it, because if you look at the choices that our political class are consistently making, you can see clearly that they don't care about the country. This country can go to ruin for as long as these people are able to feed the avarice, this appetite, unending appetite for just gnawing away at the public treasury. They are fine. But if citizens are fine with it, so be it. If we're not fine with it, there is a class war that they have launched against the people. And that war needs to be fought.
Let me pause you for another moment. You're saying this because you are not in power. Those who are in the National Assembly says they need vehicles to run the show, to be able to reach their constituency. The National Assembly has said there is a safety problem with the aircraft of the president. You worked under a government that President Obasanjo bought a brand new aircraft. Why are you upset that this government is buying an aircraft that is so cheap and the price had gone so low? And that those who say, if you were in government,
I'm sure you don't.
You probably would have done the same.
Oh, please. That's the kind of beer parlor talk that I don't have time for. Because, the case is very clear. Take, for example, the matter of what ministers were earning when I was in government. In my own case, I actually, by going into government, I took a 90% cut. A cut of my salary compared to what I was earning as a staff of Harvard University. So this is nonsense talk. For anybody to say you were in government, who are you comparing with who in this country? On the matter of profligacy that we've seen in governance, please.
Is this government luxurious in its approach? Did you see anything that looks luxurious in the approach of this government to lifestyle?
I think you're telling me that you're going to ask me questions to infuriate me, so that I will get angry. Thank you very much for doing that. So the thing is, when your priorities are all going in the direction of things that do not add in any way to the productivity and competitiveness of the economy that you are responsible for, and your people are sliding more and more in poverty, especially your young are looking at their future and seeing it bleak. And all you're saying is, I justify the fact that I need a new aircraft. I justify the fact that we really need vehicles that cannot stop on the road because we are senators and we're members of the House. Oh, I justify my being given a brand new house as vice president of the country. And you're justifying just nonsense investment. No, they're not even investments. Nonsense wastes of public resources. And you're telling me to debate that. There's nothing to debate. I can tell you clearly that there is a sell-by date for this kind of behavior. It can't sustain. We just don't have the bandwidth for it to sustain. Where are they going to? This is not going to sustain. Look, the divergence that exists right now, where the political class think that they belong, it's almost like we're running a fiefdom. So we've got this sense of all of the few of them that are in office are thinking of it as, this is our empire, and we give to the head of the empire whatever he wants. The president wants the toy of a new aircraft. So what do you think happens? The National Assembly pretends to itself, and they even dare to say to us that they did some investigation. Well, what investigation did they do? Let them share it with us. What is wrong with transparency? And to think that you bought a 14-year or 15-year-old craft, that as you're the third recipient, user of the craft you bought, and you tell us this long story, and then you go buy an Airbus. there's something wrong with delusion. You know, this is delusional because it means that our political class, they are seeing themselves as being in a class that they don't belong to. I said it when we were in government to my colleagues. I would say to them, you know, we haven't produced the kind of a country that can compare with Singapore. If the Singaporean minister comes out and is saying certain things, he has every right, or she has every right to say it. But we, with the misery around us, we can't indulge. So for people to indulge, please don't cut this kind of slack for anybody. There's nothing in the expenditures that have happened. And by the way, the critical thing for this country is a restructuring of this country. The truth is that happen. Look, listen, with a credible, legitimate, transparent, honest set of actions, we can get the conversation toward restructuring this country. And by the way, don't think that restructuring is a long-term objective. Oh, we have to finish running the economy. Part of the reason that they can mess up in the way they are doing is because of the structure that they operate.
Dr. Ezekwesili, I just have 60 seconds, literally 60 seconds
yes.
to go. There is going to be a possibility of a 10-year J term for those who refuse to sing the national anthem. You had said you were not going to at some point at an event, but it's been withdrawn now.
No, I don't sing the
new national anthem.
No, I don't believe in that. I sing the national anthem that basically represents the country based on the legitimacy process. Now, they did a national anthem in the covers of the night. Between the National Assembly and the president, they did not follow the constitutional procedure for changing an act. It's in the Constitution. They did not. They basically negated all the provisions. And so, as far as I am concerned, it's my personal choice. When we stand up to sing the national anthem, I sing, "Arise, O compatriots."
Is it compatriot-like if you're not abiding by the law?
No, this is not. This is an illegality.
We are totally out of time. But if Kamala Harris becomes the first female president of the United States, it says something. We see Obi Ezekwesili running for president again.
You know, Obi Ezekwesili is spending her time training and raising a counter-political class to the rascality we see in our society today.